I'm Jason Mariner, your host here at Real Republican News, and unless you've been sleeping under a rock for the past few days, you've seen that the people in Cuba have taken to the streets. It's called a rebellion. They're sick of communism. From the day those people were born till now, they have lived under communist rule, dictatorship. They've been told what they can do, what they can say, how they can do it, how they can say it, and if they don't do the right thing, in the eyes of the government, the totalitarian Marxist regime, the communist one that I speak of, they're put in prison, they're killed, they're beaten, they're tortured. They're stripped of anything they have. Their families are destroyed. That's what communism does. But they've taken to the streets because they've had enough. And you know what they're doing? They're holding the American flag high because it's the symbol of freedom. It's the most prominent symbol of freedom across the globe. You could take the American flag to a country and show it to someone who's never seen a television screen, and they'll tell you that that's the symbol for freedom. Men and women for 250 years have marched to their death for your freedom, and ironically, your freedom to burn the flag. And now we have those very freedoms being taken away from us. At first it was subtle. Now they're outright admitting it. I started telling you 6 months ago that social media controls the world. People thought I was crazy for saying that. People thought I was crazy when I said I was suing Facebook, Google, Amazon, Twitter, all the big tech social media companies who have aligned themselves with Washington. It didn't take me long to figure it out that they're doing the bidding of the US government. It didn't take me long to figure out that you can't say you're a private company when you're indemnified by legislation that's passed by politicians that we've elected. They use our tax dollars to make those laws. The time that they spend in session legislating, you pay for that. And then they take those laws, they hurt you with them by silencing you, deplatforming your business, whether you're a private citizen, an entrepreneur, or a sitting US president. And when you say, hey, you hurt me, you shut my business down, you deplatformed our president, you deplatformed me, a private citizen, they say, we're a private company, we can do what we want. And if they were a private company, that would be true, but they're not. Because again, they use your tax dollars and our politicians to derive their protection, their indemnification. That's called having your cake and eating it too. That's been my argument from the very start. You can't be a private company and enjoy the protections of our government. They work for us, not for them. So while the people of Cuba are fighting for freedom, and by the way, the military in Cuba is killing them, beating them, torturing them, imprisoning them, taking everything they have, all because they're saying, we don't like the way things are being done, we want to change. We don't like the oppression, we've had enough. We have people here protesting in the name of social justice. And they burn the flag, they step on it, they tear it to shreds, they desecrate it. And yes, that's their right as Americans, because in America, that's how free you are. You can't do that in any other country but this one and get away with it. You can't do that in Cuba and live. You can't do that in China. But all those social justice warriors, like Colin Kaepernick, who's sponsored by Nike. Nike uses goods that are produced by people that are in concentration camps right now. How's that for social justice? China is a communist nation. We give all our money to China when we buy from companies like Amazon. And it's all cheap crap. I've never owned anything made in China and say, man, this is a great product. They really do good work over there. It's all a bunch of nonsense. But in the name of social justice, somehow they've tricked a lot of people into thinking that's the thing to do. So we have two big opportunities here. One of them is a great opportunity, the other one not so great. The first opportunity is that we assist the good people of Cuba in their efforts to earn their independence and freedom, to defeat the communist regime. that's just a short 90 miles off the southern tip of the continental United States. We could act as the responsible, most powerful nation in the world. With all of our military resources, we could wipe out that communist government rather quickly, give them law and order, liberty. We could probably hand them a copy of our Constitution and they'd follow it forever. If we had a strong leader that would step up to the plate and do his job and not clock out at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But what I think is more likely to happen is that this leader is going to do nothing. China and Russia are going to capitalize on it. They're going to go into Cuba, wipe it out. It's going to be a bloodbath. They're going to set up a military installation right on the northernmost tip. That's going to be the tip that's closest to the United States. And they're going to point missiles at us. And we will have the Bay of Pigs 2.0. You mark my words. I'm done remaining silent on these issues because one of two things is going to happen. We're going to either help them, liberate them, do the right thing, or we're going to hand that over to China and Russia, and they're going to do the wrong thing like they always do. And again, we'll have Bay of Pigs 2.0. So to everyone out there who's burning flags in the name of social justice and liberty and whatever else you think you're doing, you're not doing anything in the name of liberty. You're not doing anything that supports the Constitution. You're doing the exact opposite. If you want communism so bad, get on a boat, go to Cuba. Go across the southern border, but head south. Your president has made it very easy for you to do that. There's gaping holes in it. You know what I don't see? The people that are coming north from Mexico, I don't see them waving American flags. I see them wearing Biden shirts, giving that BS excuse that, you said we should come. He only told them to come so he could change the population, because if you change the population, you change the vote. It's a tactic. They're being used as pawns. Plain and simple. It happened in California. California used to be a Republican state. They changed the population. They changed the vote. Look at California now. It's the armpit of America. People are leaving. There's mass exodus. Same thing with New York. It's being controlled by Bloomberg and Cuomo. A communist, well, two communists, and a misogynist, a rapist. A guy that sexually assaults women and gets away with it. So again, your motives, they're not pure, they're not good if you're burning the American flag. BLM, they just put out an Instagram post that said, to Castro, rest in power. Well, we already knew what y'all were about. Manipulation, power, buying houses, nice jewelry, cars, and abusing the people that think that you're trying to go to bat for them. You're a money-making criminal enterprise, seeking only to cause division, tribalism, and destruction in the United States of America. That's what BLM does. It doesn't make me a racist for saying it. It just makes me a person that pays attention and has a little bit of logic. Now, if we don't stop this communist effort in this country quickly, our children will die bloody deaths. If you read a real book about communism, you'll quickly learn that it's killed more people in the history of societies than anything that's ever killed anyone before. More people have died under the rule of communism than anything. I can't put it to you any simpler than that. So it's time we all start acting and doing something to take back this country, because we've lost it. America is not the ground on which you stand. It's the unalienable God-given right to pursue life, liberty, and happiness. It's the right to burn the flag. It's the right to be gay. It's the right to love who you want to love. It's the right to be whatever color you want to be and pray to whatever God you choose. But don't use my tax dollars while you're doing it. And don't use my tax dollars to help other people hurt us. So stop being the silent majority, because they're going to call you a racist, a homophobe, or a whatever phobe. Anyway, even when you do remain silent, And should you remain silent for long enough, you'll look back and wish you hadn't, because you'll be dying. And so will your children. People were living in the Roman Empire centuries after its fall, just because the land was there. But the Roman Empire didn't exist. It had been taken over. Study history, it's important. Our founding fathers knew that. They said a couple really important things. The Constitution only works for moral and God-fearing people. And they also said, John Adams did, that education and political science, and us teaching it to our youth, is one of the most important civic duties of any adult. I don't know, maybe that's one of the reasons his son went on to become a president of the United States, John Quincy Adams. Study history, it's important. Pass it along to your kids. This country is on the brink of never coming back. I say that with a heavy heart, but I also say that with the conviction that it won't happen on my watch, because I'll fight against it till my last breath. I refuse to see the day come to pass where someone tells me what to do, when to do it, what to say, what not to say, and when to say it. And I certainly won't let that be what awaits my children. So to you, wake up. To the woke, go back to sleep or get out. And to Joe Biden, leave. Go be the president of Cuba. Go have your people get rid of whoever's running that country and install yourself as the leader of that country. And we'll give you all the pimply-faced, purple-haired freaks who burn our American flag. You can have BLM too. You can have Antifa, all your friends. They can go join you. The radical left, y'all can have Cuba. Leave us alone. We are taking our country back. You will never install communism in the United States of America. My name is Jason Mariner, and I will continue to pray for you, what's left of America, the good people of Cuba. And with that, I'll end it with God bless America. Be well, everyone.